You guys, we are so excited for this video today because we are doing a two-part series. One video on Jessi's channel, one video on mine, like we do with all of our fun transformations. Today's video is going to be on the one and only Whitney Carson from Dancing with the Stars. We're super excited to be doing her color and extensions, and if you want to know how to get that perfect Whitney Carson hair color, stay tuned. Since this is a two-part series, make sure you check out both of our videos so you get the full transformation. One part on Jessi's channel, like I was saying, and then the other part here on mine. So, without further ado, we'll get this party started.
Yeah!
Alright you guys, what is up? It is Stu here, and this is going to be our before on Miss Whitney. As you can see, she does have a good amount of hair as far as length and fullness, but it is a little finer on the end. So the first thing we're doing for this transformation is starting off with installing 2 rows of our Cozy Wefts from JESSI'S Co. And what we're going to be doing is adding in these 2 rows to not only give her that fullness she needs, but also a little bit of length. So you're going to see me and Jessi tagging 2 horseshoes here. We love working on horseshoes whenever it comes to extensions because it really does match the curvature of the head. It works with the head shape and it allows the extensions to not only look very natural but also very seamless. After that, what we're going to be doing is going through, and we're only going to do a half highlight today. I'm going to basically cover everything in the back that is above that first horseshoe that's on the top. So what we're doing is going through with 20 volume Oxycure and Olaplex, and what I'm going to be doing is just taking it, and she does have a few pieces of her ends. It does look a little bit lighter on this video that need to be pulled through. There was some orange splotches, a lot of kind of different things going on, but we're going to make sure that we get it corrected as best as possible today. We're going through baby lighting, taking small sections, making sure I cover everything that's on top of this first horseshoe, just to make sure that we are getting maximum coverage with our color. If the wind blows, if those extensions show, it's going to be blending in with that natural hair just so everything can match very seamlessly and very perfectly. How I'm going to be tackling this is just going straight off the center of the back. So everything from her ears forward is up front. Jessi's tackling that. She goes over it a little bit more in her video. And what I'm doing is starting off where that little dip down is with the extensions. I don't want to forget any hair or leave anything out, especially as you can see here, she does have a lot of dark pieces. So I started working my way up off the center, and then I'm going to be kind of bricklaying it to the left, to the right, back to the center, and working my way up to a small triangle at the top. And then that way I'll just go straight horizontal up that small triangle. This is just going to make sure that I don't get any hair left behind, and we're going to be processing her until she's at least a level 9. Hopefully she can get to a level 10, but we're not going to be pushing her hair past anything so far. So as far as her formula goes, we are toning her now. She's been processed. You can see that in Jessi's video, and we are using 7N, 7N8, and Redken Shades EQ. This is going to help match her natural hair and also soften that foil line so everything gets blended together and it just has a soft grow out where she's not going to have a harsh line. That's why I love a root. I root everybody, and that's exactly the reason why. As far as toning her mids and ends go, I'm mixing up 2 different formulas. Whenever it does come to this, you guys, it's very important to remember the extensions that you're toning and her natural hair is not the same thing. So since we are working on 2 different canvases, I'm going to be mixing up those 2 toners like I said. For as far as her extensions go, I'm mixing up Goldwell Colorant 10P just to ash them out a bit. And as far as her toner for her mids and ends on her natural hair that we have lightened, I'm using 10P, 10N, and 9GI. The 10P is going to ash out her extensions just enough, and since extensions are super porous, I like using Goldwell Colorants because it's not as fast acting as Redken Shades EQ. So what we're going to be going through is doing a root tap, kind of bringing it down quite slightly. So kind of in between a root tap and a root shadow. So I'm going to be doing one side, taking small sections, making sure to really saturate so we can go ahead and make sure everything's covered. Whenever it comes to things like this, it's always a good rule of thumb after you rinse your clients is to brush them out and put a barrier of Olaplex on their mids to ends. The reason being for 2 things. You're going to have a treatment on her mids to ends, so she's getting a treatment while her root processes, but also at the same time her mids and ends that are super light compared to that level 7 that we're adding onto her root. it's going to act as a barrier. So we're not going to have to worry about the root transferring down. And so that's exactly what we did here. Miss Thang is getting a little treatment as we're going through and rooting her. And then we, of course, will be taking our Jessi Styles blending comb and going through combing that root down just so slightly. This comb obviously is the best for blending. That's why we call it the blending comb. That's what we designed it for. It's like $4, guys, on our website. I'll leave it linked down below. It is the best. You guys need this. You've seen so many people out in public or come in the salon and you say, oh my God, I wish I could like go in there and fix their hair. It's just not blended. It's chunky, it's stripy, but you've never seen someone's hair and said, oh my God, it looks too blended. And so to get that perfect blend, you are going to be needing a blending comb. Sometimes I go through and use the multi-use brush that we also offer. It's a metal bristle brush. It's a dream for combing out teasy lights or just wet hair in general. And maybe I'm biased and think that these are the best tools, but it's something that definitely works for me, and I suggest you guys try it out. So I'll link both of those down below.
To be daring, baby, dance the night away. I let my head down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time? Doesn't sound like fun. You can do better. Let me show you what.
Okay guys, so now that her root is sat for about 5 to 7 minutes, that's usually how long I like to leave it on before we go throwing on the toner. I'm going to be sectioning out her extensions and hitting those first. Like I said, extensions are super porous, but I'm using a Goldwell colorant which acts super slow. So I want it to really to get in there and do its thing, ash these guys out, because most of the time blonde extensions come in the package and they need like a little bit of toning love, or at least a little purple shampoo bath, just so they're perfectly ashy enough to match how you tone your client's hair if you're lightening it. So we're going through in each horseshoe, and we're basically going to be taking these horseshoes in 4 parts, 2 on each side, taking it really saturating with that 10P by Goldwell colorants and really just making sure that it is saturated, worked in there, and let it soak for a few minutes. And as soon as it starts to get those little ashy silvery tones, we'll go through with the Retkin Shades EQ and apply that to her natural hair everywhere else. And basically, whenever it comes to toning, we just like to play it by eye. I know that Retkin Shades EQ is supposed to be used on dry hair for 25 minutes, but I love using it on wet hair. I know a lot of stylists out there do, and I know it might be breaking the rules, but honestly, this is what works for me. So as soon as I am looking at her hair, it looks a little scary. I usually leave it on for 1 extra minute, and then I know it's the perfect time to rinse, because then I'm not rinsing too early, and the longer you leave the toner on, the longer it's going to last your client. So after this is processed, all we have to do is wash her one good time, condition her really good. We're going to be brushing her out, giving her a good blowout. Our assistant Piper here is doing that. We'll curl Miss Whitney Carson up, and I want you guys to check out these afters because I'm obsessed with how they turned out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and if you guys have any more questions about this process or this video, leave them below and I'll be happy to answer them, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
What a good time looks like. You can do better.